going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad.
I'm Miguel.
Huge show for you tonight. We are talking all things Spider-Man No Way Home, TV spots, the trailers, the rumors, the leaks, all kinds of stuff. And we are also reviewing the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. This is going to be insane. Last night was insane. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Really, the last 24 hours have been like unbelievable. But before we get into any of that, happy Monday. Miguel, how you doing?
Doing good. Had a really good Monday. Sorry, my hand was over that mic. You could not hear me for shit.
You're good. I could tell something was up when you first started. So guys, welcome to the show. This is our 52nd episode of Let's Talk Movies, which is, it's getting to the point where it's hard to believe that we're getting like in the 50s already. You know what I mean? Like that's just.
Oh, well, we're past the 50s. You know that.
I know, but when I look at it on paper, I'm just like, wow. Like it's hard to believe that we're really there. But guys, thanks so much for joining us. If you are new here, whether you're watching with us now live or whether you're watching after the fact, please be sure to leave us a like. As what do the kids say nowadays? Smash that like button. Go ahead and smash that like button. That really helps us out a lot. And be sure and leave us a comment as well, and let us know how you're doing and what you're expecting for Spider-Man No Way Home. So it's been a busy couple of days. So first of all, also, if you're in the States, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a fantastic holiday as well. So
get ready for more, because
I know
there's more to come. Just letting you know.
It's funny because I was talking about that today with my kids, because I'm a teacher, if you don't know. And I was like, man, like we come back from Thanksgiving break and then it's just like, and boom, right on into the next one. It's just like the holidays, just like boom. So it's going to be kind of crazy. Coming up Thursday, we are talking Halloween 4 on the sixth episode. Am I right? Of Purely and Simply Evil.
Yeah.
And lots of new and exciting things. We officially have our tickets for Spider-Man No Way Home.
We did. And guess what, guys? Guess when we got it. Guess when this motherfucker was able to seal the deal on these tickets. Opening day. So, yeah. Make sure to give Brad a round of applause for that, because that's unheard of.
Here's the lowdown of what happened last night. Okay, we're gonna hop right into this. We're not gonna waste any time. So last night, we knew tickets were going to go on sale. We knew it was kind of crazy. Probably at 5:30 or so is when, I think it's called, is it View in the UK? If Darren is listening, Darren would probably know. Or if you're in the UK, Darren Sands from the Slaughtered Lamb podcast. Shout out to them, by the way. The View is, I believe, a UK-based cinema chain. Like we have Cinemark or Regal or AMC or, your bigs in the US. But I saw it like 5:30 last night that their website crashed like the minute the tickets went on sale, and I was like,
yeah, that was like around 7. That was like around 7 or 8 o'clock whenever I started getting notifications of that.
It was earlier than that.
Oh, I think that's whenever you notified me.
At least when I saw it, yeah. So I realized that had happened. So I was like, okay, so how are we going to do this? So I'm thinking about it. I was like, okay, I'll set an alarm. I get up pretty early in the mornings to get ready for work, and because I have a little bit of a drive, and I was like, I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes after midnight. Cinemark had tweeted about this, Regal had tweeted about this. It was like 12:01 p.m. Tickets are gonna go on sale. So I was like, okay, I'll set a timer for 12:05. I'll buy the tickets, go back to sleep. God had a different plan for how last night went. So essentially, my alarm went off. I woke up. I'm kind of, I'm trying to wake up. I grabbed my phone. I had my wallet sitting next to my phone, and I grabbed my phone and I'm like, okay. I'm like, here we go. So I go. I didn't even get on Twitter. I didn't get on anything. I go to click on the Cinemark website, and I'm like, okay, Cinemark. I go to click on it. It spins. Give it a minute. Exit out of the tab. Go to click on it again. It spins. I'm like, okay, so I'm like, I'm just going to give it a minute. So I head over to Twitter, and Twitter is blowing the hell up already. And this is probably 12:05, 12:06 at night. Twitter is blowing up right now. And they're like, I think it was Regal first. They were like, yo, Regal crashed already. And it's literally minutes Less than 5 minutes after the tickets went on sale, they were like, Regal crashed. And then it was like, an AMC crashed. And then it was like, well, Cinemark crashed. So I was like, oh.
What do we do?
I know, it was like, wow. Yeah, Jay did, thank you. I know we have a spammer. I appreciate you. Block user, goodbye. Thanks, buddy. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know you've made it when you have when you have spammers. And
okay, not sound pretentious. Let's not get
I'm
too
kidding.
too
I know.
far into it.
I'm kidding. So little after what time did I tweet? I tweeted something.
Well, yeah, you tweet something. I got a text like later on that night.
Oh, I spammed your phone.
Yeah,
I knew
you
were
did.
asleep, and I knew you had a big morning. But I was like, you know what? I was so like my adrenaline. I don't know. One of the things that like even inspired us to start this, well, again, you guys all know the story by now, was Disney Investor Day, and it was like that same like adrenaline, like my blood, like what gets my blood pumping is getting excited about movies. And like I was sitting there, laying on my bed, like sitting on my bed, just like nervously scrolling, and people are freaking out. People are pissed. They're like, I can't get my effing tickets. I can't. Nobody can get tickets. Which here's the thing, though. At least it wasn't. It's like it's not just you. You know what I mean? Like nobody's getting tickets because every site is down. I mean, it was just like Cinemark, AMC, Fandango, Regal, just like everything. I think. Well, no, because Cineplex didn't go on sale. That's Canada until today. I don't know. It was crazy. It was like every U.S. big theater chain crashed within minutes. So I tweeted this out. 12:17 a.m. This is probably about 15 minutes after I woke up. I tweeted, they've all crashed. Cinemark, Fandango, AMC, and Regal's websites have all crashed within seconds of releasing the Spider-Man No Way Home tickets. Mobile apps are not working either. This is insane. So the night goes on a little bit. And I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, you know, I think you said this to me, Miguel, when we started this show. You said something like, most shows or most people like in our space doing what we do are successful at like one social media platform, essentially, like most successful.
Mm-hmm.
So our Twitter's never been huge. We've never had, you know, a huge Twitter following. I think we have 60 followers now. Follow us on Twitter at We Talk the Movies, by the way. As of right now, that tweet has 2,705 likes, 97 quotes, and 520 retweets.
Well, because a lot of people were
crazy.
upset. They were in the same situation as you, man. They were refreshing the same website as you, and they were getting frustrated. But
well, I mean, it's funny because it's like, you know, the more you refresh and the more people like get pissed and try to keep like pushing buttons, you know, it's making it worse.
I
like,
know that's what I was thinking right there. I was like, the more people come in, the more people get upset. This thing's gonna crash more and more, and it's just like.
I know.
And they made like I remember seeing the post from View saying like they're doing everything they can to like get back online, but it's like as they're fixing it, more and more people are coming.
I know, right? It was just like an endless like snowball effect. But that was a little bit of my evening. I mean, I finally went back to sleep at about 1:05, probably like an hour later. And I kid you not, my phone had like 800 or 900 notifications when I was like, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb because literally my phone was sitting on my nightstand just staying lit up. So I put it on Do Not Disturb. I was like, I got to go to sleep. Like, I got to get some sleep. I can't just sit here. So essentially, I woke up this morning and at about 5:45, I successfully secured our tickets for Spider-Man No Way Home. Opening night, Cinemark XD. We are sitting. I saw Art. Was it Art? Yeah, Art says, "Where are you guys sitting in the theater?" We are literally sitting the very top of the theater, the top three, like the middle 3 rows in a Cinemark XD theater. I scored that this morning at 5:45, and I was
we're gonna have to like show up like an hour early and like put
stuff
there because I know like some asshole is gonna be like sitting up there and be like, "Whoop, okay, I'm just take this spot."
I know. Yeah.
You know why I know that? It's because we did that. Because we were one of those people.
Those people in it. Well, when we saw Halloween Kills, the whole, for some reason, the bottom level of the theater was empty. The whole top level was packed. So it was like we were like trying to spam in there, and like there were people would fill in on this side, and we're like, well, let's scoot over, bro. or screwed over like a couple chairs, and then people would fill in this side. We're like, okay, we got to go back. So it's just like this constant like Tetris game of like where we were going to sit and for Halloween kills. So
and we feel bad. I felt a little bad because like we were
okay.
taking someone's seat and they were literally looking around, be like, "What's going on here?" And it's like, I hate to tell you this right now, buddy. So, but they were good sports, obviously.
Yeah. But all that to say, last night was it was crazy. I mean, there were before, and I'm sure some of it was bull, but like before the websites even got back online, there were people selling. I believe somebody was selling Spider-Man No Way Home to 2 tickets. I believe in Texas or something for like 25 grand on eBay. I mean, there are tickets on eBay for $1,000, $750, $900 on eBay.
Is it like the IMAX tickets? Because those could honestly be considered like collectibles at this point, because I've seen what the tickets look like in IMAX and they look dope.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but it was crazy. It was in terms of this show, last night was one of the craziest nights since we started this. Of just like what it was one of the craziest movie events I've ever seen. I mean, I don't even remember it, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember it being like that for Endgame or Infinity War. Do you? I mean, it was big, but I don't think they crashed every website big, you know?
I'm not sure if they did.
I could be wrong. I mean, I know when we went to see Endgame, the line literally went about 40 feet out the door. Like,
yeah, because everyone wanted to buy
outside of the theater, like onto the street.
Yeah, I think that's why it crashed this time, because they pretty much learned their lesson. Like, let's not wait in line just to buy a ticket, or wait in line just to say like, hey, all the tickets are sold out. So now everyone is trying to like reserve their tickets, and all the websites could not do it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a wild time. It was absolutely insane from the get go. I mean, it was just like, wow. I mean, I've never experienced that kind of dash. Like, that's why I was so happy. Like, when I finally like got our tickets, I was like, like I didn't even sleep well last night. It was just.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was totally expecting him not to get that ticket. I was expecting like a text later on. I was expecting a text later on, be like, "Hey man, I couldn't secure the bag." I was like, you know what, it's fine. I was totally expecting it.
Yeah, I don't know. How about the eBay thing though? I mean,
what eBay thing?
Who in their right mind would pay $900 for 2 IMAX tickets?
You know, there's people that's bought like PlayStation. Is it 5? Is it 5, guys, or 4s?
We're on 5.
Oh, okay. Well, there's people like scalping PS5s for like over 300% market price, and people are stupid enough to buy them.
That was a big thing about this. Like, you know, I think Brandon Davis or maybe Warren Thompson, I'm not sure. Somebody had tweeted about this, and they were like, "How many of those people are scalpers, though?"
That bought the thing.
Yeah,
boy, I can guarantee you, people like in their house with like their cryptocurrency mining machines are just collecting these tickets just so they could sell it on eBay. I'm 100% sure that's what's gonna happen.
And did you see about? I don't know if it was is it the IMAX tickets? I don't know. It might have been No, it was AMC. That's what it was. The first like 200 people to order tickets or something, you get like one of the NFT. I don't even understand exactly.
Are you serious?
Get, like,
you get
an NFT like Spider-Man figure or something like that. And
you should have told me
that. Everybody was like, that's why the websites are crashing. They want their NFT. I was like, no, they don't. They want their tickets, man. They want their No Way Home tickets. They're not. Who cares about an NFT? I don't get the whole NFT thing. I really don't.
Some people are just in for their bag, man. Some people chase the bag. Don't hate the game.
I don't know. I don't get it. But real quick, let's run over the chat again, guys. Please be sure to leave us a like if you're watching with us live, and if you're watching after the fact, have you secured your Spider-Man No Way Home tickets? Again, we have ours for opening night. I believe it's 10:35. It's going to be a late one, but it's worth it. We were actually going to go to an earlier, like 9 o'clock, 9:20 or something like that. And that sold out literally between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. That completely
in the span of like 3 refreshes, it sold out.
I know, right? Well, the other thing, I don't know if I've even got to talk to you about this. I thought about doing Regal because I saw Regal had we're lucky to be in an area where there's quite a few different movie theater chains. Like north, south, and in between. I mean, like we're in a pretty decent area. And I thought about looking at Regal, but I think it was Regal had people. You know how when you buy concert tickets on like Ticketmaster and you get put in like a queue, like when we went and saw Green Day, like we got put in a queue, and you have like you're number 300 in line, so that the website doesn't crash. And we like you have like 10 minutes to complete your transaction or whatever once it's your turn. Well, people were getting put in a queue, and when I went to bed, like when I fell asleep, I was like, no, there's no way. The queue was like over 2 hours long. Like the waiting list to get your ticket. I was like, screw that. No thanks. So
how about that? There's a lot of. I remember when I got my first like Jimmy Buffett tickets because I went to see the Jimmy Buffett concert. I remember they gave me like a 2 or 3 minute window to like solidify the confirmation, or else the ticket just goes back on the market. I was wondering if they ever wanted to do that. I don't know if that's something I didn't know if that was something that Real did, but I don't know.
Yeah,
sounds like a good idea. Just so you guys don't crash, because I'm just saying,
it's
if you
crazy.
crash, that's money loss.
Absolutely crazy. So so let's talk a little bit about we're not going to talk about spoilers. We don't know. Nobody knows for real. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but we're going to talk about some of the things that have come out. New rumors, some new speculation. I know a lot came out today. I've got a couple of tweets here from Daniel Rickman, Grace Randolph. And there's been a couple of there was a new interview with what's her name, Amy Pascal, who is the producer on No Way Home, or one of the producers, and she kind of gave a lot away about the future of Spider-Man, the future of this whole franchise within the MCU. So real quick, I wanted to bring this up. So the runtime, the official runtime, has been revealed. So this graphic here is from Murphy's Multiverse. Awesome graphic, by the way. Awesome graphic. So right now, the official runtime for Spider-Man No Way Home is 2 hours and 28 minutes long. That puts it fourth in the MCU, behind Avengers Endgame at 3 hours and 1 minute, Eternals at 2 hours and 36 minutes, Infinity War at 2 hours and 29 minutes, and No Way Home is 1 minute less than Infinity War. So as of right now, it's the fourth longest MCU entry, which is pretty crazy.
Bro, that's mad.
I know. That's awesome. Also, The Incredible Hulk is the shortest.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, I'm surprised either. I was looking at this graphic and I was like, this is kind of interesting. Like, this is actually kind of cool. But yeah, so it's going to be the fourth longest entry. And I think it's important. I was kind of thinking about this earlier. I know everybody's freaking about Tobey and Andrew. I know that's the big thing right now. I saw a video a little bit ago where it was like kind of zoomed in on his face, like this style, and it was zoomed in on his face, and he was like, I have a couple of friends here that I want to make a big announcement with, and it was like zoop, and it was like Zendaya and Jacob Batalon, and everybody was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and they were like,
it's gonna be like Tobey and Andrew standing next to him.
Yeah, and they were making fun of that situation too. They were saying like, yeah, I mean, who else could it be? Other than the two of us.
At this point, I mean,
yeah, at this point, they pretty much are. Which
I kind of don't blame them.
Exactly, because at this point, they already know like the bag is solidified, and I mean, they know this movie's gonna make bank. So why not have some fun with it at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. So
you notice Tom Holland's doing way better and having way more fun with keeping the secrets of the Marvel universe. That's great. Well, that shows real growth on Tom Holland's part. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely, and it's funny because like I think Zendaya actor is it Zendaya? I don't know.
Bro, you say Zendaya one more goddamn time. I swear to God.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Just say Zendaya.
I love her. I just don't. I've always said it wrong. Zendaya. There we go. She had actually said about like it's so hard doing the press tour for this movie because it's like you can't say anything. So like, what do you say? Like, it's gonna be great. That's all I can tell you. It's gonna be great. You're gonna.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I haven't seen anyone do press tour yet.
Well, I imagine that's like starting right now.
Oh, okay. I got you. And that makes sense. Because I guess press like starts picking up like once the movie's dropped, I suppose. Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, cool things there as well. Another little thing that kind of goes along with the runtime, and again, I think this is where people need to really temper their expectations a little bit with moving into this. And I say that in a good way. I don't say that like the movie's going to suck. I don't mean that at all. I think this is going to be my favorite movie of the year. I think this may be this might be second to Endgame. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not gonna rank them right now. I'll say it's probably gonna be one of the most culturally. It's gonna be the most impactful Marvel entry of the franchise so far,
for sure. So here's the deal. I think Daniel Rickman may have been the first person to report this. It's been out there for a couple days now. From what we understand, Tobey and Andrew have about a little over 30 minutes of screen time, which is not bad. I think Robert Downey Jr. only had like 40 minutes in Endgame. So, like, it's going to be about what RDJ had in Infinity War and Endgame, which is a lot of time. When you space it out, it's a decent amount of time. I know a lot of people see that and they think, well, the movie's 2.5 hours long. How do they only have a half hour of that? But you got to think, though, it's not.
A half hour is a good chunk of the movie.
Exactly. The film isn't going to be straight Spider-Man stuff. I mean, there's got to be other things. The plot of this movie has to be massive. I mean, just huge. For it to be as long as it is, I mean, look at the movies that it's behind. You know what I mean? It's behind arguably some of the biggest entries in the universe. You know? So I'm not really disappointed by that. And we kind of figured this, I think. But from what I understand by reading, Grace Randolph and Daniel Rickman's posts, is that they will kind of be the back half of the movie. The Spider-Verse, all three of them together stuff is going to be the back half. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's enough screen time for Tobey and Andrew?
I mean, it shouldn't be too bad. It's like what, 20-35% of the movie. That's a good chunk for like all of them. Yeah. And is it like 30 minutes for both Andrew and Tobey, or is it like for each?
What do you mean?
So that means, I mean like we would get like a whole hour based on
I don't know. I don't know that. I mean, that, I guess, yeah, it does kind of change it based on that. I think overall, both of them, it's a little over half hour, which I'm fine with. I really think I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, it still has to be Tom Holland's story. It's still, you have to build into that big reveal of them coming back. You know what I mean?
And also, you also got those other fucks in the movie too. Like, let's not forget about them, man.
Yeah, I'm
gonna be more upset if I feel like any of the cast are feeling like kind of written off. I'm not gonna be surprised, but I'm gonna be a little disappointed. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because if you have a cast like this large, you got to give everyone the right or their salt. Otherwise,
100%.
Otherwise you're gonna be stuck with fans saying like, oh, well, they just wrote him off, blah 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 blah, or they didn't give him enough good writing, and it's like, come on, man, you can't please everyone. But at least as long as I can tell that you guys at least made an attempt to give everybody like a shine, or at least give them all their due on the screen. And and also if you give like a decent story with everyone, don't make it feel rushed. That's my main concern. I just don't want this to feel clumped and rushed. That's all.
What I worry about, I don't want them to feel like glorified cameos. You know what I mean? I don't want it to just be like, oh, Doc Ock, that's cool, and then he doesn't matter. Or I don't want Tobey and Andrew to come in and it's just be like, oh, they help him in the end fight scene and then they're gone. Like, I want them to have a role. I want their presence to matter. You know what I mean? Same thing for all of the villains. Like, you went through the trouble of bringing Willem Dafoe back as the Green Goblin. Like, use him. Like, you could do incredible things with that character, and I think they will. But I think if I have a fear going into No Way Home, I think it's going to be the fear of them kind of not doing what they should with the characters, if that makes sense, and not giving them their earned, giving them their respect, and I think there's a lot you can do with bringing these characters back, and again, especially the villains. because it's just crazy because it's not just we have Peter and Strange who are like the main characters. You have all of the villains. You have Tobey and Andrew, but then you also have Happy and May and Charlie Cox's Daredevil if he is actually in the movie. I mean, there's so many other characters too. It's like, how do you do justice? Jameson, how do you do justice to every single character? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's like you said, I don't think everybody's going to be pleased at the end of the day.
exactly. Like I imagine J. Jonah Jameson of all people, even though like seeing him was like, it was like J. Jonah Jameson was probably the first person we saw that was introduced from the Raimi trilogies. You think you realize that?
Yeah.
So I can almost guarantee you people are gonna want to see more of him at least, but I can
I do.
guarantee you he'll probably be like a comic relief or just like a side like, oh, he came out of nowhere just to keep looking or just to like,
Right.
he'll be like a conspiracy like
Yeah.
reporter just trying to find anything he can and he'll just pop in and out of nowhere. That's pretty much the way I see him. He's not gonna have as much of a relationship as he had with Tobey
Yeah.
than he will with Tom. You get
He
what I'm
was
saying?
actually like a pretty big supporting character in the Raimi films.
He was.
Like he
There's a
kind of had
great
like a pretty big part of the movies, to be honest.
and he's got mad. J. Jonah Jameson's got mad. I got mad respect for him because I remember there was a video or a TikTok of they were talking. It was the Joker's like it was Heath Ledger's Joker, and he was doing his little speech about like when the chips are down, like people show who they really are in their final
Yeah.
moments, and then it popped up to Tobey Maguire's, and it's when the Green Goblin has J. Jonah Jameson by the neck, and he's asking who's Spider-Man, and J. Jonah Jameson was definitely gonna go to his death saying, "I don't know," living
Yeah.
to his name, even though I'm sure he knew. He knew who Spider-Man was. He knew, and even though he knew that Peter Parker was gonna be the one Green Goblin needed to get this Spider-Man, but J. Jonah Jameson was not a snitch. He ain't no snitch, and I
He's a
give
man of
mad
his word.
respect for that.
But I mean,
Exactly.
we can't ever forget the most classic scene in motion picture history.
You serious?
J. Jonah Jameson, guys. Love
J.
him to
Jonah
death.
Jameson, everybody.
Yep.
J.K. Simmons. That man is an incredible pianist, by the way. He's got a music degree.
Mm-hmm.
He's great.
He's a musician. I didn't know if you guys knew that. That's why he was so good in Whiplash.
You learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
So we've kind of talked about the tickets on sale. Posters. Whole bunch of new posters came out over the last 2 weeks. Most notably, this one. One of the newer. This is, I think I know some of these posters are international posters. A couple of them came out today. The IMAX poster, and there was another poster. Couple of interesting things. So Peter and Strange are pretty standard. We still have this like whole spiral multiversal New York thing going on. My arm just cracked. I don't know if you heard that. We got MJ in the middle. First poster that shows the lizard. If you look,
it's a silhouette.
Bottom right hand corner. Yeah, I mean you can, if you zoom in, which I can't do on here, you can kind of see him roaring, but we see the silhouette of the lizard. Pretty cool shot of Electro as well.
Yeah, I got a couple notes about that.
I feel like they're starting to push Electro a little bit more in the marketing. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, because Tom Holland and Jamie Foxx were doing a couple of promos as well, and also you note that they finally gave us a different Green Goblin, but the same pose,
right?
Which is literally what the fuck.
Well, and we're gonna get to that in a minute too. You know what I've noticed though, Miguel? Like the lizard was featured. We already had Doc Ock. We already had Goblin. Electro is now featured. Lizard has been featured. You know who has not really been featured in a poster? Sandman. Yeah. Which is kind of interesting because I know there's been a lot of people that have like, dude, Sandman is gonna blow your freaking mind in this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's what they're trying to like, they're trying to keep him in the back burner. That way when he does like have the spotlight, it's even more impactful. But if you want to talk about like Electro, I think they're gonna push Electro to be one of the most I don't want to say anchoring, but he's gonna be the wedge in between the Sinister Six. You know what I mean?
You think so? Not Goblin?
No, I think Goblin's obviously gonna have his ulterior motives, but
He's a backstabber.
Electro, yeah, but Electro has always been like, I will kill Spider-Man no matter what, and I think they did try to do that with Andrew Garfield because I mean he really did, and but Electro's character is pretty much like, I want to fry this bug,
Yeah.
so
Like this. You're not
yeah.
a nobody. You're a somebody.
I hope to God they don't bring that story back up. Hope it's just Electro and he's pissed. I hope
Yeah.
Electro just comes back and he's just pissed. I don't want to hear about that bullshit anymore.
And again, that's kind of one of the bigger like things about the one of the bigger questions I have about the movie is like, what version of each villain is this? Is this real? I know there's been a lot of speculation about like the villains in No Way Home are the same villains from their universe, their respective universe, but they're ripped out of their universe like seconds or minutes before they die. I don't know if I like that. Do you?
It makes sense for the story. The hell you mean?
It does, but I don't know. It seems strange. Like somebody brought up Doc Ock saying hello, Peter. And he was like, but he didn't know Peter Parker was Spider-Man literally until he died. Like seconds before he like, I'll drown it. Like before he drowned the sun thing, like in the ocean. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. And even Electro, because Electro looks so much different than he did in the Amazing. He's not blue. He actually looks like electricity. He's not blue.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but just interesting things. Art says that poster looks a bit amateurish. You think so?
Dang, it's pretty much that's the poster that I imagine will be on the in the movie theater. That's the poster that's going to be on everywhere.
I actually like this poster. I think this is probably the best poster we've gotten. The best
it's
official
the most
poster.
Because it looks like every other Marvel poster since since Iron Man, because you know how they all work. You have the main character in the top, and then you have the side characters coming through smaller and smaller, and then you got the big setting in the middle. Like, guys, if you guys get what I'm saying, like every single Marvel poster or international Marvel poster is pretty much the same. And I get that. I get it. It looks cool. Like, don't get me wrong. It looks cool. And it's a good thing to like, create like a collector's piece or whatever.
Right.
God, man, get more creative with these posters. I gotta say. You want me to tell you one of my favorite Marvel poster is? It's the first installment of Ant-Man. I remember there was a poster out there. I don't
remember what
and
that
it
one
said
looked
like. It was a big white screen. It had Ant-Man, just in big old bold print, and then the small little crevice, and small little corner right there is Ant-Man. And that was it. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like, it was
I'll
simple,
tell you
but
what I
beautiful.
really liked is
Because
like
it put the whole perspective of the movie. Like, it showed you like, hey, this is gonna be about Ant-Man, and guess what he can do? He can shrink.
Yeah. Like you can see like I have that Endgame poster behind me.
Yeah, and you see the formula that they use.
Right, and it's the same thing. Like Tony's up front and center, Cap's kind of down there, and then the rest of them are scattered around them, and it's kind of hard to see in this lighting. But Thanos is up here, like looking off to the side. But I actually really like the Endgame poster that we got in theaters, because do you remember it was just the A, but it was like dusting and it was like cracked and broken, and it was like. And it just said Avengers Endgame. And I was like, that's perfect. Like, you don't give anything away. Like, it's ambiguous as hell. Nobody knows what that means. It's just, I thought that was a great poster as well. Like, really well done. So, but I think this is the best poster we've gotten. Like, I wouldn't mind having this on my wall. I wouldn't at all. Like, this would be a great poster to have. The most interesting thing for me that came out of this poster was my boy here.
Good old Goblin.
This is the first look we get at the different Goblin suit. What are your thoughts on the new Goblin suit, Miguel?
It looks all right. Oh my god, if those gauntlets are fucking Wakandan or Stark Tech, I'm gonna flip my shit. I'm gonna fucking lose my shit if I see that. If I hear it's stolen tech, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
These are smart individuals. Dr. Octopus is smart. He built a sun for fuck's sakes.
He recreated the
Osborn
sun.
Osborn is his own tech company. He has his own tech. He's just as
Yeah.
smart as Tony Stark.
Yep.
And he sometimes gets the better of Tony Stark.
He made the glider.
Yeah, I 100% bet there's an arc reactor under that bitch.
Are you serious? I know there is an arc reactor on Electro. Like
Exactly.
100%. There's no. I know that people are like, oh, that's not what it is. Watch
You know,
Iron Man. It's
you
an
know what
arc
I think?
reactor.
You know what I think happened? I think what happened was, you know, Peter, Dr. Octopus, he got that upgrade, out of nowhere, I guess, if that's what we're all gonna believe. And then Green Goblin probably gets his
You're really
glider and
pissed about this.
updates it and whatnot. And then Electro's like, "Where's mine? I want to update." And then they're all like, "No, get your own." So he's like, "Fine, I'm still Tony's." This is pretty much what I could tell right now. I'm calling that right now. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
It looks dope, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm hoping that we get a little bit more purple and green because this kind of just looks like silver. It doesn't really look. Again, it's just a poster. I mean, this could be completely CGI differently, and of course, on all the other posters, and even in the actual like film trailer, it's the OG Doc Ock suit. It's not even like the like the Raimi Ox or Goblin suit. So I don't know. It looks cool. I'm down for it. I hope they go a little bit more comic accurate, like with the hood on the back and the weird googly like yellow eyes. Like I kind of dig that look a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Like an actual.
He stole Bucky's arm. He stole Bucky's arms. He took
How would it be Wakandan
Falcon's
though?
wings.
That doesn't even make any sense.
What?
How would it be Wakandan gauntlets though? That doesn't even make any sense.
It looks like it. If you look at it, it looks similar to what Captain America had in Infinity War.
Goblin finally gets into this universe. He's like, I got to make a stop real quick. Goes over to Africa, gets the gauntlets, and then comes back.
Well, no, not really. Because you realize, Bill, at the end of Black Panther, T'Challa opens the world to Wakanda to the world. So I mean, their technology's out there now.
I don't know. That's fair. I don't know. Interesting, but so that's kind of the most recent U.S. trailer. A couple of others that came out today. I know a lot of people are kind of bashing the crap out of these. This is one of the newer posters that came out today, with the ticket release. So this is like the OG suit. I saw somebody on Twitter was like, how many suits can we fit into these posters? Like there's like 6 different suits, it feels like, that are on all these posters.
Right.
Same kind of thing.
You know what?
What?
I bet you that's probably Tom Holland. Oh, no, I bet you that's Tobey Maguire.
You think?
Yeah. Watch what happens. When the movie comes out and it all spoils, they end up showing the real posters, and instead of it being Tom Holland, his OG suit, it's going to be Tobey Maguire. And then in the other poster, it's going to be Andrew Garfield. I could bet that 100%.
Could be.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people have said, like, even if you look at this, like this one, what other? I'm not sure. Like that pose is pretty much the same as this one. It's actually literally exactly the same. Like it's the exact same. They're really like reusing a lot of the same things. So like this is an example. This says 16 December. So this is an international poster. This one's kind of interesting. New York is upside down in the portal, and then you have the Doc Ock arms on the outside, but you also have Goblin above the tire, which I feel like is low-key a callback to the Raimi trilogy when we like first see him at like the festival or whatever. You get the nice butt cheek shot of you know what I mean, of Goblin
before he starts shooting the Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
So I don't know. real quick, let me. I know the chat's moving. Art. Art says, "I hope the movie's better than the poster art." Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I'm not
honestly,
gonna
man,
lie.
I wouldn't I wouldn't be discouraged if like if the poster's bad. I don't be discouraged. I'm sure that's just them like, hiding as much as they
Yeah,
can.
it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, that's true. It's very cut and paste. I agree. And the posters have been. And to be fair, like Miguel said, maybe they're really gonna make Tobey and they have posters ready to go with Tobey and Andrew on them. Maybe, and of course, you're not gonna see that in a theater because they're not gonna try to spoil that. But like, maybe there's a reason it's still cut and paste because they can't show certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not even a good butt cheek could save this film.
I don't know, man. If Tobey, Andrew, and Tom are there, there's gonna be a lot of great butts and spandex gonna be in this movie. So
I know, right?
Enough for you to watch.
J Dead says, "I'm back. What did I miss? Nothing, man. We're talking about the posters right now. This was another one that came out today. This is the IMAX. Enter the multiverse in IMAX. The IMAX poster.
Yeah, that's what I kept seeing. Like, if you got an IMAX ticket, that's pretty much what it's gonna look like.
What
like if you got an IMAX ticket, that's what the ticket looks like.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like some of them's gonna be like collectibles.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, that's why I'm not. So that's why I'm not surprised. There'll definitely be scalpers, and they'll be like, "Well, I'm sure you got the ticket somewhere, but hey, do you want this collectible item for blah 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 much money?" I'll be like, you know what, fuck off. So you're a piece of paper printed.
So that's the IMAX poster as well. There was one more. Did we check out? We haven't checked out that one yet. No. This is
that was interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
It's interesting and it's funny because somebody actually found if you look at New York back here, someone actually found the stock image that they used for this poster. It's literally like a stock image that someone took and they just slapped on Spider-Man No Way Home, and they slapped on the same stock image of Strange. At least we do get a different picture of Spider-Man in this one. This time he's in the Far From Home suit. We literally have posters. Do you realize that? With the Stark suit, the Far From Home suit that he created, the black suit, the Iron Spider suit, and the what's the other one? What am I thinking of?
We haven't gotten the homemade suit.
Or not the homemade suit, no. Why would we get that though? Why would we need the homemade suit?
I don't know. Maybe Andrew gets here and he doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and he doesn't have a suit. So Tom Holland's like, yeah, just wear my old one. The hand-me-down, you know what I mean, guys? That'd be such a big brother moment. It's fucking hilarious.
So why'd you say this one is interesting? What's interesting about this one to you? This is obviously an international poster again.
Is that supposed to be a portal on the far right?
Possibly. What is he? What's Peter
like
standing on?
From Tobey Maguire's movie.
Oh my god, I hate you. What's Tobey? I hate myself. What's Spidey standing?
We hate ourselves.
What's he standing on?
On a building?
Is it a building though? Strange is just chilling in the air.
Because the man can fly. What the fuck you mean?
I don't know, man. We're literally grasping at straws. And then this is we already.
Well, in the previous one, no. Go back to the previous one, man. You know what it looks like? It looks like my man is shooting laser out of his eyes. Freaking laser out of the freaking eyes, man.
He's like,
yeah, exactly. Like, is my boy Icarus right now? Fuck out of here.
Art says looks like a solar panel. Yeah, it kind of did. You're right. You're not wrong. It did kind of look like a solar panel. So that's kind of some of the new posters we've gotten. Again, doesn't really add anything brand new. Just this is the official marketing that we've gotten. So speaking of official marketing, let's do this. Let's check out the most recent TV spots. They're really short. Miguel, do you need a link to this, or do you?
No, I'm good. Go ahead and do it.
Okay, so let's. We're gonna check out the newest TV spots from No Way Home. So, let me make sure we have sound. Miguel, tell me if you can hear it.
Yep.
Okay, so I think there's five of the newest TV spots that we've gotten for No Way Home. Again, they're very short, but excuse me, they do have some new footage as well. So, numero one, go.
Look at this place and all the possibility.
Now, this is interesting.
You see, that's what I mean. They're literally like I 100%, 100% believe that he's looking at like a Stark company or Stark like subsidiary of his company, and he's like, look at all this possibility. Hello, father.
See, this is interesting because this was, I believe that picture was leaked before we knew it was called No Way Home.
Yep.
Like, this picture has been on the internet for a long time. And it's interesting that when I saw that, I was like, wow, that was out there for a while. You know?
Yeah, so whoever got that, I mean, keep tabs on him because he's got some pretty good leaks.
I know. And it's interesting that he says, look at all the possibilities. Like, what is he talking? Is he talking about being in this universe? Is he talking about like he said, like the tech upgrades? Like, what exactly is he talking about here? It's an interesting thought. There he was. There's the boy.
Hello, Peter.
My boy's wearing an exoskeleton.
They're a danger to
from
our
Elysium.
universe.
Spider-Man's greatest enemies are unleashed in IMAX.
That shot, though,
It looks dope.
it really does look dope. Wholeheartedly, it looks dope. And I'm curious what exactly is happening in this scene. Like, is this really the fight scene between Strange and Peter? Like, what's the deal here? Like, what's going on?
What's the deal here?
What's the deal? Same shot we've always gotten.
Spider-Man, No Way Home. Experience it in IMAX coming soon.
So there was one.
It's on sale now.
So this is this next one is actually the teaser we got last night when the tickets actually went on sale at 12:01 and the internet broke. So this is the actual tickets are on sale teaser.
Soon. Tickets on sale now.
Dude, catch.
Tickets on sale now.
Dude,
Tickets on sale now.
dude, dude.
Exclusively in movie theater.
What?
Couple of cool shots there, though. I'm not gonna lie. Let's go backwards a little bit.
Tickets on sale now.
Dude.
So Ox saying catch. Okay.
They're literally at a pissing contest to see which arms are better. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm sorry, but Ox arms are better. Like, let's be real.
I know, but it's gonna be interesting because you remember in like I think it was one of the teasers, Doc looks at his tentacles, he's like, it looks like we got competition. Or some bullshit like that. It's gonna be a fun scene because I'm gonna love seeing those two like duke it out where it's like or it's like whose arms are better, and obviously Tom Holland's gonna lose, but it's still fun to watch.
I know, definitely.
Tickets on sale now.
Dude.
Tickets on sale now.
It's my boy, man.
Dude. Dude.
Exclusively in movie theater.
So that's just it's another fun one. Here's
Just like
the third teaser.
It is so crazy down there.
Es la cantizo.
Finally, some privacy. It is so crazy down there.
Oh.
Get Cyber Monday. This
I thought
is
that was
now
someone
Spider
completely
Monday,
different.
And to celebrate, I have a really big announcement. But first, let me bring in two very special friends to help out.
Whatever.
I mean, it's only right.
Fuck you,
They're
Tom.
your best friends.
It makes sense for us to join this.
Of course. I mean, who else would it be? Now that we're all here, Zendaya, do you want to share the news?
I don't know if I should. You're Spider-Man, so.
Well, I thought it'd be fun if you could.
No, I'll just say it. Tickets for Spider-Man No Way Home are officially on sale.
Get them now, right now, on Fandango.
We'll see you at the.
That's some real hobgoblin attitude right there. He said, I'm gonna do it.
Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing, though. They're like, get them right now on Fandango. It's like, well, you can't because the website's crashed. At least last night, of course, it was when that dropped. It was just funny. And then, of course, the last TV spot.
You feel relieved. You don't really have to hide.
Everybody knows Spider-Man. But my life was perfect when you found out.
You both like each other. We get it. Hang up. I need my 8 hours.
You've been listening this whole time.
Not by choice.
So
they're in a hotel.
Yeah,
They're in a
nothing
hotel.
crazy. Like it was nothing wild that we've gotten in the TV spots. Basically, a rehashing of footage we've already gotten, or like the Happy with his sleep apnea machine on, like a couple, like the Doc Ock when he says catch and he throws like the car door or whatever it was at Peter. I mean, little things like that we've gotten. Nothing like major, like no like huge reveals or anything like that.
Except the fact that Happy has sleep apnea, that's pretty important, man. That's a big health concern for me.
So I mean, just little things like that, man. They're playing this thing close to the chest, and I can respect that. I get it. You know what I mean? I get that we're in the nitty gritty. I mean, we're in the last 3 weeks. Do you realize we're in the last 3 weeks?
That's gonna be a long 3 weeks, man.
It is gonna be a long 3 weeks. But it's okay because it's going to be a big payoff. Art says, when can I buy my tickets on sale for Halloween Ends? Dude, if they were on sale, I'd have bought them like 2 days ago. Dude died. Dude died. Dude dies tonight. Tickets die tonight.
Dude.
And Art says, I get it. Tickets are on sale now. I know. They're like, tickets are on sale now. Goblin laugh. Tickets are on sale now.
Dude, how much do you think that man? How much do you think that man like makes as a voiceover?
Dude, he definitely made probably at least $1,000 for that one spot. And
for
it's like
each spot.
20. I know it's like 20 seconds long.
Yeah,
it's literally like nothing. Let's see. Jay Dead says, you know something I haven't thought about? What if a multiverse Tony Stark comes through for a cameo to help Peter out when he's at his lowest?
It's gonna be. Here's what's gonna happen. If we get a Tony Stark cameo from the multiverse, it's going to be Tom Cruise, and he's gonna be a dick.
I don't ever want to hear those words ever again.
Well, you know, like in the '90s, they were like hinting to a Avengers level movie, and they had their casting choices.
I don't ever want to hear that ever again.
Tom Cruise was eyed to be Iron Man, and I could see that.
No,
because you realize, and I could
Man.
totally get that I could totally understand if he becomes like an asshole, because I mean in the comics and just in general before MCU Tony, I mean Iron Man was a narcissistic. He was a pure narcissist asshole. He had no sympathy for much.
He was, but yeah, I don't know. I don't want there to be a Tony cameo. Honestly, I think Tony.
Why not? We're getting all of his fucking tech as cameos.
And I even said this when we were watching Hawkeye the other day. I was like, listen, I get that Tony is like still like they still want his legacy to live on. I get it. I mean, I got my Iron Man shirt on. I get it. His legacy has to live on because he's Tony Stark. Like he's literally he is the heart of what the MCU was. But I think it's time to leave it alone. Like I don't want to see it. I don't want to see a cameo. I don't want to see Stark return. I just wanted to just leave it.
Tom Holland's going to take that spot. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Jade.
Yeah, neither am I. I'll lose my shit if he did it too. But I know. I don't. If he's gonna come back, it's gonna be a different cast in the multiverse.
I know. I don't want it to happen. I just really don't. I don't know. So, couple of things. First of all, Miguel, at this point, by the way, whether you're watching after the fact, whether you're watching right now, please be sure to leave us a like. And if you're watching after the fact, let us know your thoughts on all of the marketing for Spider-Man No Way Home. We're going at about 55 minutes. Miguel, one of the big questions of the night here. Do you think that they should reveal Tobey and Andrew before the movie comes out? In any way?
No, I really don't think so. Why? Do you want him to?
Yep. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't think so. I think at this point, the time has passed. If they were going to do it,
it would have been like...
Yeah, they would have done it at already. I don't. Now that tickets are on sale, we're ramping up. I think it's like we're in the last 3 weeks. Like, leave it alone. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've made it this far. Even though the league's officially you've made it this far, just go the last 3 weeks without it. You know, I think you'll be fine without it. You'll make it. It's not going to be a big deal. So yeah,
Tom can take care of. Tobey and Andrew can handle it for another 3 weeks. I know it's gonna suck, but
I know.
you gotta get used to it.
So it'll. What was that? So speaking of Tobey and Andrew and the marketing campaign, there has been a supposed leak, mistake, whatever you want to call it, editing mistake in some of the marketing for something called BarkBox.
The fuck is BarkBox?
If your dog's wagging their tail and bouncing off the walls right now, you know that their spidey senses tingling. Bark teamed up with Marvel to introduce the world's #1 web slinger to the world's #1 toy flinger. This amazing squad of toys and treats will save your dog's playtime. Just watch out for those sticky webs of drool. How was that?
Was that for a chew toy?
Could I be a voice actor?
No.
Could I make it big? No.
Nope.
So this is a piece of marketing on something called Bark. I don't even know exactly what it is. I guess it's a dog toy or whatever that is Spider-Man No Way Home piece of their marketing. So cool marketing. You got the Daily Bugle thing. You have, the different suits. You have the black suit, the Iron Spider suit, the gold suit, and the original suit on there. Cool. If we zoom in a little bit, more. If you look above Spidey's head, who is that? Now, here's the thing. Do I think this is on purpose? No. Do I think they're trying? Why
Is that Venom?
If they're gonna reveal Tobey and Andrew, why would you reveal the top corner of Tobey's head on a dog toy? Why would you do it that way?
I'm not sure. Can you imagine, like, of all the companies that are like, advertising this movie, the one to spoil it all is a fucking chew toy from Bark.
I know, right?
I would be livid. If I was Kevin Feige, I'd be fucking livid right now.
Here's what I think this is. If we look at this is from the Raimi trilogy. This is the Daily Bugle. One of, how the Daily Bugle papers would occasionally like fly up on the screen. Police seek Spider-Man, citywide search for the bug, reward for photos of Spider-Man, yada, yada, yada. I think this is what we're seeing is something Sony already owned. This is already a graphic that they owned, and they are reusing things that they already own for the marketing, which makes sense. If you're trying to save a buck, that makes sense. Go ahead and do it. Especially since you're tied in this whole multiverse thing anyways. I think we just got a glimpse of it, and it was just like a simple editing mistake. I don't think this is like they're laying hints. Like this is it. This is the reveal. This Tobey's in the movie. Like, I don't think this is any cause to freak out just yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Personally.
I get it, but why make that much of a? You think it was them making, like, Bark, the Bark company, I guess, was making like a Photoshop error. You think that was the case?
I don't think it was Bark. I think it was whoever created the I'm trying to think who would have made the marketing. Who would have done that marketing?
Bark. I feel like they were given the job, like, hey, market this toy.
Yeah, but they have to use whatever graphics they're given, though. They can't just be like, they can't just reveal whatever they want. I feel like Sony still creates the graphics and has to set it to them and be like, look, we've approved this. Like, you can use this image. This is the image that's going to be on your product. I don't think Bark is like, I don't think they decide what they use. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I don't know. I could be
that.
wrong. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on it. I'm not 100% sure, but so yeah, just kind of interesting that was on there. I know I've seen people freak out about it. I just wanted to kind of touch on it real briefly. So a couple other things in the world of Spider-Man. Grace Randolph, she's a great Twitter follow. She's a huge industry insider. Got a lot of great things to say. this kind of ties into the multiverse thing, kind of ties into where we're going. You know what? I'm gonna save that. Because there's a couple other things we can get to Spider-Man No Way Home related. I'm sorry to blue ball everybody, but I'm gonna save that for a second. So Andy Serkis was on Phase Zero, which is comicbook.com's Spider-Man Marvel podcast, on their Marvel podcast. He said the portal has not been crossed fully when talking about Venom crossing over into the MCU. What could that mean? I know that I've seen a lot of people that have mentioned the Strange. It's Strange at the end of the trailer when he says they're coming through and I can't stop them, and he looks scared. They're like, oh, Venom's coming through. I don't think that's quite the case. What are your thoughts on that, Miguel? Saying the portal has not been opened fully for Venom and Spider-Man. I know that's kind of on the spot. Because that's interesting to me. I'm not really sure what he means by that.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, I guess that means because even though Venom did get sucked into the MCU, his full universe is not meshed together with
the
MCU. I think that's the case. I think lingering parts of each universe are coming into the MCU, but it's not yet when the entire universe comes in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's what's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I know my thoughts again. We don't know for sure. I honestly don't really want to. I don't want it confirmed. I don't want to know for sure yet. I kind of feel like Venom is going to be in one of the post-credit scenes for No Way Home. I really do. That's my gut feeling. Again, I don't know that. And again, I'm surface level spoilers. I'm okay with. I don't want to know huge specifics about things. But that's kind of what I think is that I think there is going to be a Venom nod in No Way Home, because that is something that's big on the horizon. And that was something that was actually teased. It's kind of a good segue by I always want to. Is it Amy Pascal? I don't know why I want to say Amy. I don't even know. I don't know what I want to say. I always get her name wrong. So she spoke with Fandango real briefly about Spider-Man No Way Home once tickets went on sale. This came out at 5:28 a.m. this morning. Couple of interesting things. We're not going to read through this entire article just because I'll link it down below. You can kind of check it out yourself. Interesting things that she said about No Way Home. This is not the last movie that we're going to make with Marvel. This is not the last Spider-Man movie, Pascal revealed. We are getting ready to make the next Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland and Marvel. We're thinking of this as 3 films, and now we're going to go on to the next 3. This is not the last of our MCU movies. So, Amy Pascal has confirmed that the college trilogy is on the way. Officially, 200%, the college Spider-Man trilogy is on its way to the MCU. So all of that stuff Tom Holland said about, if he's still playing Spider-Man at 30 or whatever, he's made a mistake. All of that was BS. They are keeping this. He is Spider-Man. So
I think he was probably thinking that until Sony and Marvel are like, hey, guess what? Read the fine print. You're here till you're 40.
That's pretty
fun.
honestly, they probably showed up at his house. He looked out his window and there were 17 dump trucks of money, cash, like hard cash sitting there, and he was like, okay. So kind of reading on, before the next trilogy of films begin for Holland Spider-Man, he must first contend with a multiversal story that will push the character and test him in ways not yet seen in previous 2 films. Ahead, Pascal teases high stakes of the film, the difficulty of keeping its massive story and character lineup a secret, and how it fits in alongside Sony's other Marvel movies like Venom and the upcoming Morbius. The producer of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse also teases the next chapter in that Oscar award-winning animated series and offers up what it'll take to eventually see a live-action Miles Morales potentially join Tom Holland in an upcoming movie.
Hell yeah!
So just a couple of things in her interview with Fandango. Let me see. They asked her, where does No Way Home sit on the list of Amy Pascal all-timers? Is it up there? Again, I'm paraphrasing some of these. She said, the movie is so ambitious and the movie has everything that people have come to expect from a Spider-Man movie. All the spectacle, all the heart, but at the same time, as expansive as it is, it's always a very intimate story that is about Peter Parker and his heart. Fandango also asked, would you say that this movie wraps a bow around 20 years of live-action Spider-Man movies? Well, here's what I would say. I would say it's the culmination of the Homecoming trilogy, of the story of Tom Holland becoming Spider-Man that we've all been waiting for him to be. It certainly tells that story, and it does. And as you know from seeing the trailers, it does bring some of the characters from the early movies together. And yes, wrapping a bow around it sounds nice. So again, I think that's kind of her way of teasing the Tobey Andrew thing without officially being like, yep, I think it is. And I know there's a lot of people, and Miguel, you've even mentioned this before, that are like, they should go back and do Spider-Man 4 and The Amazing Spider-Man 3. If they do this story correctly, they shouldn't have to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if you do this the right way, you shouldn't have to go back and do another one, They also asked her what villain she was excited for. She's thrilled that everybody is going to be back.
Damn, I love how they asked that question, because she would have said a character, they'd be like, all right, well, watch out for this one.
I know,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, damn, these reporters are good.
Yeah. Fandango also asked, was it easy to wrangle all of those actors from previous films? Was that a fun pitch to bring to them? She says, you know what? If you love what you're doing, what you're doing and you're enthusiastic about it, they all loved playing those characters in the past, and there was not one of them who wasn't sign me up. And that's kind of interesting. And, we've kind of laughed about this. Like, being Alfred Molina, could you imagine being like you get the call, they're like, hey, we want you to come play Doc Ock again. He was probably like, what? Like, what? Really? Like, for how? Why?
No, because he looked like he had fun playing the Green Goblin. He looked like he had a ton of fun playing.
Yeah,
him.
man.
So obviously, if when they offered him an opportunity to come back, he was 100% on that. Yeah. Even though, like, he's had some great movie over the past year since the Raimi trilogy. Like, what are the movies? Like Eternity's Gate, the one with Van Gogh, and The Lighthouse with fucking Robert Pattinson, which is by far one of his sketchiest movies I've ever seen. It's great. Yeah. It's one of his sketchiest, though.
For sure. Another interesting question they asked was, this movie has so many little intricacies to it. Has it been one of the more difficult Spider-Man movies to sort of keep under wraps because of all the big surprises in it? And her answer was interesting. Boy, you could probably answer that question. Yes, I don't want to spoil things for people, That's one of the problems with movies, is that people know everything before they walk into the theater. So we've been trying to make sure people get the full theatrical experience when they go to the movie. And yeah, you try to never confirm anything in a movie, but this is a big one. And I think that's part of why, even going back to us talking about the posters. I know a lot of people are like, the posters aren't giving us anything. Like, they're so generic. But I think that's partially part of their plan here. And again, I don't know if this whole marketing campaign, like we've said before, this was either the most genius marketing campaign anybody has ever come up with, or it's probably the worst job anybody has ever done. Trying to keep something under wraps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just interesting. They also asked her about, the the collaboration with Marvel Studios, which we already talked about. We already talked about that a little bit.
She said, "Can I say something about that?"
She's
Question
very supportive about the relationship between Marvel and Sony. You know, she says working together and helping each other to make things better is a good model. You know, it's really great to knowing what we know about the past, about the battle that they had between Sony and Marvel for this character and for this character and his properties. It's really, really cool seeing them like in a collaborative setting, being like, you know what, we're going to work together and we're going to push this multiverse thing forward, you know, and we're going to do something really, really cool with it. So it just makes me really glad to see, you know, to see them working and stuff. Again, I'm going to post this article down below. She goes on to talk about Venom. She goes on to talk about the amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, things like that, the part 2. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of tease about Venom being a part of the MCU. A lot of industry insiders have even weighed in about Venom fighting Spider-Man at one point. I mean, there's a lot of talk right now about the future, but I think, especially after reading through this article, again, I'll post the whole thing down below. We just kind of hit some highlights. I think it's really, really important to see that Disney and Sony are in a good place in terms of their relationship. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So it makes me really, really happy to see. And again, last article I'm going to pull up, and then I promise we're going to get into Hawkeye as well. This is kind of a cool thing as well to see. This comes from Murphy's Multiverse again. A really, really great Twitter follow. Sony and Marvel Studios have officially extended their Spider-Man deal. So it looks like Tom Holland may just be stuck playing Spider-Man until after he's 30 after all. Amy Pascal also revealed, that Marvel and Sony are going to continue working together as partners. And of course, they talked about the stuff last night. Kind of a typical thing, talking about the Amy Pascal interview as well. Same kind of stuff that we just read over. Interesting note in this article, it's unknown what further collaboration between the two studios will look like, but with Tom Hardy's Venom crossing over into the MCU, it's possible the future could include Holland Spidey coming face-to-face with the symbiote. Now, Miguel, if you're watching after the fact, again, please be sure to leave us a like. Let us know, what do you want Venom's role to be in the MCU? Now, Miguel, how do you want Spidey and Venom to actually cross paths in the MCU?
I don't know. I gave you my initial plan this morning, but I don't know. The only way I could see it happening is it's either or. It's like flip between the two. It's either Venom and Spider-Man fight each other. Eddie loses the symbiote, and then it goes on Peter for a while, or Peter gets the symbiote for a while, separates, goes back to Eddie, and then they duke it out. But again, Marvel can create a much better story than the two that I just fucking offered.
Right.
And I can see it happening.
Right. And that's the thing, is like, I've thought about it. I mean, from what we've heard, it sounds like Venom is going to have more of a substantial role moving forward in the MCU. So hopefully we will get that initial battle between him and Spider-Man. Hopefully we will get the symbiote Spider-Man for a while with the black suit, and then maybe we'll get kind of a Venom Lethal Protector type deal going, where he is a recurring character, but he takes on more of the anti-hero route. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe. What if Venom and Spider-Man end up fighting over the suit? Peter wants
But who would have the suit?
Really, I guess it would be between Eddie and Peter.
Yeah, exactly. Like Eddie, like I remember. I hope they don't write Eddie off to be the type of bad guy that we know, but we've grown accustomed to, the good-hearted Eddie, because this Eddie the Eddie now from Sony doesn't really have much of any bad intentions with having a symbiote.
Yeah,
It's
for
Venom
sure.
primarily, and Eddie hasn't been corrupted by Venom, which is something that's supposed to happen. Like the Venom symbiote is supposed to like propel your more aggressive side of your personality. So I mean, it's like it's weird. It's weird, so to speak, to see the relationship between Eddie and Venom because obviously, yeah, in the movie Let There Be Carnage, they talked about how they're a perfect match. So that's a weird thing to say if Peter is just going to get the suit.
Yeah.
Later on,
Well,
it's like
and
why
it's funny.
would Venom go to Peter if he already said it's like a weird it's like a weird love triangle.
Yeah, and we described it like that at one point. Like the relationship between Peter Parker and Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote is very strange. You know, Eddie wants the symbiote, Peter doesn't want the symbiote, but Venom has like a strange like
fetish.
It's like a weird infatuation with Peter Parker and with Spider-Man. Like it's very strange. But I let us know, guys, in the comments below. How do you want Venom and Spider-Man to actually cross paths? Because that's going to be one of the more interesting interactions that we've had in the MCU so far. Wouldn't you agree? I think it's going to be a very interesting one. So now our Grace Randolph news that I kind of teased you about before. I saw this on Twitter today, actually. Grace Randolph, again, great Twitter follow. If you like following some of these leakers and some of these industry insiders. I hear a major villain for the MCU has been secretly cast. My bet is Doom, talking about Victor Von Doom. Last I heard, Michael Fassbender was still in the running. Who do you hope it is?
Michael Fassbender is always going to be Magneto for me, though.
I know. I kind of thought the same thing. I think a lot of people are going to feel that way. I'll tell you what, and I know I don't want him to play him now. I actually liked Victor Von Doom in the OG, like was it 2004 Fantastic Four with Michael Chiklis and Chris Evans when he played the Human Torch. I actually really liked Doom in that version. I thought he was actually a pretty cool character. I dug him.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty dope as well. But who would I want to see cast as him? I don't know. Who has the demeanor?
And he's one of those people. He almost has to be kind of a Norman Osborn, where like he's a backstabber. He's an evil, sinister dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's not your typical run of the mill villain. He's a backstabber. He's somebody he'll get under your skin. He'll do whatever it takes to be on top. You know.
Did they already have that rumor? Did it show who they were rumored to cast?
No, she just said her bet is that it's Victor Von Doom, and she hears that Michael Fassbender is still in the running for that character. Now, it could be a different character. I don't see it being Galactus. I don't think we're at Galactus yet. I wholeheartedly believe that we are moving into the multiverse saga. I think we are setting this we've had the Infinity Saga with the stones and Thanos. I think we are moving into the multiverse saga. And whether or not we're moving towards Secret Wars is yet to be determined, but I kind of think that we are, and it would make sense for Doom to be this kind of next big bad, this next Thanos character, because Victor Von Doom is a huge part of Secret Wars. Am I right?
Yep, he is. He's the one that fucks it all up now.
Right. So, well, I mean, but for real though. So that's kind of an interesting one too. Is like I lost my train of thought. I don't know who that character could be. I mean, I guess it could be quite a few different people, but I guess in my eyes, it makes sense for it to be Doom. And I think, especially with the Fantastic Four coming, it's just strange to me that we have rumors of Doom being cast without the Fantastic Four, though, because we haven't really heard anything else about Fantastic Four.
The only thing the only thing we've heard from Fantastic Four? Do you remember? It was from WandaVisions with Sword. when
Yep.
they were supposed to be a
Yeah.
space exploration adventure
Right.
pretty soon. And then Monica Rambeau was supposed to make a phone call to deal with what's going on with Wanda. And they never explained who it was. But everyone was thinking, bro, it's the Fantastic Four. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, like literally they teased the Fantastic Four literally I think it was WandaVision came out this year, right? Yeah, like earlier this year.
Yes.
Like beginning of
Yes.
the year. Yeah. And literally just left it alone. It's like
Yeah.
fucking hell. So
Well,
I don't know.
unless
I could see because old boy that got that was like the leader of like Sword. Like he's done. He's arrested and whatnot.
Yes.
He got caught. I can
Uh-huh.
almost guarantee you like Victor Von Doom ends up taking over Sword. And then he's the one that finances the space exploration for the group.
Yeah. I mean, I could see him taking on like the evil version of Tony Stark for the MCU.
Yeah,
know?
but I could see him as just like another billionaire playboy. Like this is the time to bring in all of
Billionaire,
the other
playboy, the philanthropist.
this is the time to bring in all the other billionaire geniuses. Like Tony's gone, just bring in all the other
Right.
billionaires, geniuses, and just let the MCU weed them out. Like put
To
them
set
where
the
they
Illuminati,
need to be.
though, right?
Huh?
Because you're trying to set up the Illuminati.
Yeah, like you need Reed Richards, you need a Professor X, and you need a Doctor Doom, you need Namor and all that stuff, and we literally have half the cast. So to
Well,
speak.
and
I mean,
Namor's
we
rumored
don't even have that anymore.
Namor's rumored for Black Panther too.
Yeah.
So
But that's
for
the thing.
Wakanda Forever.
That's the thing. We don't have like we don't have Iron Man no more right now, and we definitely don't have T'Challa right now. Only one we have is Doctor Strange and Namor. And
we don't even really have Namor.
yeah, we really didn't have Namor. We don't know what his we don't know what his main goal is. He has to be a villain first before he becomes an Illuminati member.
Could we see? Do you think we could see Bruce Banner taking on like an Illuminati role?
No, he's too green in the eye. He's too green. Not in the sense of Hulk, but he's a fucking Boy Scout.
That's
Bruce Banner isn't the type of.
I never thought I'd hear you talk about Bruce Banner as being a Boy Scout.
He is a Boy Scout. You know what I mean? Yeah, he didn't. Like whenever Tony was building Ultron, Bruce was like, "No,
this is a bad idea.
This is a bad idea." That's pretty much where I got it from. So yeah, I don't think Bruce Banner could be in Illuminati. I can't think of anyone else that could be in it right now. Maybe I don't know. No, nobody else. Honestly, everyone else is neat.
I don't know.
I mean, Black Bolt needs to come in like soon. Like the Inhumans need to come.
Yeah, he's another one.
And I mean, that TV show got canceled within like a week. So.
And also, if we're really not only with the Secret Wars storyline and the Fantastic Four storyline, if they're really moving towards this big World War Hulk thing, the Illuminati's literally the key of that whole storyline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Because
so,
they're the ones that banish the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. That's going to be an interesting one to watch. Especially just because his character, talking about Victor Von Doom, is so important. And I mean, I could even see them introducing Victor Von Doom before the Fantastic Four film. Maybe
exactly.
In a post-credit scene, same way we had Thanos in at the end of the Avengers and at the end of Age of Ultron and all that stuff. So
he's the one that takes over a company, or he's the one that he's the one that bought the tower and Hawkeye. Like he we don't know. We all think it's probably Kingpin. Sorry, that bought it, but I mean, like, who knows? It could be anybody. That's what's so interesting is that they haven't told us who bought Tony's building, because it could be any one of these billionaires.
Yeah,
like it could be Fisk, Doom, it could be Oscorp, it could even be Hammer. Justin Hammer.
True.
That will enter in Armor Wars. Like, who knows?
Yep, it could be. I don't know, man. It's going to be a really interesting. It's going to be
an interesting ride, fellas.
Yeah, that's going to be one to definitely watch. So, speaking of Hawkeye, let's switch gears from the multiverse from Spider-Man No Way Home. We just laid into Spider-Man for a good solid hour and 25 minutes. We'll probably try to go maybe 10 or 15 more minutes, guys. Again, if you're watching after the fact, please be sure to leave us a like and consider subscribing to our channel. Please, please, please let us know your thoughts on Spider-Man No Way Home, on the marketing campaign, on the new TV spots. Have you gotten your tickets yet? So much to talk about there, but we're going to switch gears. Let's talk the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. I actually really enjoyed them, like kind of more than I thought I would, to be completely honest.
Yeah,
and
I thought I wasn't. Yeah, I actually enjoyed it more than a lot of people that I know that checked it out. So I mean, it's surprising. I wasn't expecting much from this show.
Yeah, and I will say people had it right. The opening scene was incredible. I love seeing the big MCU events from different perspectives. So like seeing the Battle of New York was incredible from another, like hearing the Hulk roar, her seeing Clint like jump off of the building and like shooting the arrows up in the air and stuff like that. I mean, that whole opening scene was incredible. Overall thoughts, I really I didn't expect, again, I don't walk into any of these Marvel shows being like, it's gonna suck, I'm not gonna like it. But obviously, like compared to Loki, compared to WandaVision, compared to some of the other entries that we've gotten, I was like, this will be kind of cool. This will be kind of a cool side story. Really, my interest peaked in the post-credit scene for Black Widow. Once I saw that, I was like, oh,
with Elena.
I was like, okay. I was like, that's kind of cool, man. I'm kind of hyped for Hawkeye now, and it didn't disappoint. So,
but I'm so curious, like how the fuck Elena's gonna be in the movie.
I don't know. Well,
in the show,
here's the thing, though, and I actually have IMDb pulled up in a different screen. This is a 6-episode series. She's got to be in the next episode because she's in 4 episodes. Florence Pugh is in 4 episodes, so she is going to be in episode 3.
Yes, let's fucking go.
And
when's
Miguel,
the show come
out? Tomorrow. No, Wednesday.
Fuck you.
Sorry, I know. I'm sorry. I just hurt you. Miguel's a huge Florence Pugh fan and a huge Elena fan, so.
I love Elena. She's funny. She's really chaotic. I love her.
So hopefully she'll come in. So real quick, Clint Barton storyline. The whole, I like that we're really pushing the PTSD angle a little bit. Like the whole thing with the Rogers play, that was screwed up, by the way. Like you could tell he was extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah, they dogged on the Avengers, and it's fucked. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, how can I put this? The MCU really showed us like the hardship of being a superhero at full display for every single one of them, and they still show and then with the general audience, they still show them as like just superheroes, like pop stars or whatnot, like people to like watch and follow on social media. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like they're supposed to be like way more they're put on a pedestal so much.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting, like it's kind of not that you actually think that, but like when he looks down at the urinal and he sees Thanos was right, it's almost like, it's like half of it's just kind of a weird parallel, like not saying half these people should die, but it's just like there are so many people that don't see them as like superheroes. They see them as celebrities. You know what I mean? They see them as like people that should be on E-News, like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of interesting seeing that side of things, even when he looked at the little girl that looked like Natasha, when, he just, especially like him recalling things the way they happen, compared to what these people are doing on stage. Like it just, I really liked that scene because you could tell that like there was some PTSD going on. Like he was visibly uncomfortable with what was going on in that scene, Yeah,
because he's a normal person. That's what's fucked. He's just, there's nothing special about Hawkeye. The fact that he's good with the bow. Obviously, there's a little, skill sets that he has.
He's special.
but well, you know what I mean? Compared to everyone else.
I know. Compared to even Tony or the Hulk or,
Yeah. Even with Black Widow, because Black Widow has, She's trained by the Red Room. I mean, Hawkeye is pretty much just a shield agent, like a top-notch shield agent. That was it, and he just got put in with the Avengers. And as compared to everyone else, I mean, obviously the MCU has touched on PTSD for a number of these characters, but I mean, Clint was the most normal out of them, so to speak. Yeah. And then he's just going back to and now he's just back to living his normal life, kind of like Sam Wilson, except Sam Wilson didn't really experience PTSD yet. I don't know. I don't want to speak much on what he has gone through so far, but in regards to Clint, I mean, he's the one that's gone through the most and was put in a position to literally like pull himself up by his bootstraps and go forth to the fray, or so to speak. And then for it all to be over, her losing her friends and almost everyone else, that he has to go back to simple life, even though that's what he wanted. Like, that's really what he wanted. He wanted to retire, but he wanted to retire and the Avengers still be there. The Avengers have been like destroyed, and they're just now trying to recuperate, so to speak. Yeah. So it's tough on him. It's a pretty big weight on him.
Right. I'll tell you, one of the things that I'm very complimentary of, for at least, again, we only have, a third of the puzzle here. But I really like how much this series in particular is grounded kind of in like reality. Mm-hmm. It's because Clint is a normal person, for lack of a better word. I mean, he's not normal, but in terms of superpowers, he doesn't have some crazy superpowers like some of the other characters do. We're kind of seeing how this affects real people. Citizens see them more as celebrities than heroes. Mm-hmm. He has to deal with that. He's still trying to deal with his family and living a normal life. You can tell he still wants to live a normal life. He doesn't, even when they were at dinner and the guy was like, your dinner's on us or whatever. And he was like, no, like, you don't have to do that. Like, he wants to live a normal life. And that's something that I really like that we're starting to explore in the MCU is, we've explored. I mean, obviously, we've literally gone to other planets. We've gotten so crazy and out of, off world and going in all these different places and these different experiences from the perspectives of different characters. Plus, with all the other series, I mean, Loki was an acid trip. Wanda was an acid trip. I mean, even Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it was grounded in reality, but it still had a little bit of, it was still dealing with like super beings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is kind of different, and I like how grounded it is. Even with Kate Bishop's story, we haven't even talked about Kate yet.
He says that, and he still hasn't watched Daredevil.
I know. I haven't watched it. I've seen part of it. I just haven't watched it all the way through. I know. It's on my list. I need to catch up.
But I do agree with you in that aspect. I think what's going on with them is it's more than it's further more than like just general like PTSD and having to go through all that. I think it's more like a identity issue. It's like he doesn't believe himself to be a superhero. He's just a man that did his job to protect the innocents, and it's hard for him to grasp the fact that everyone thinks of him as a superhero, because he doesn't consider himself a superhero. I don't think he considers himself a superhero. He's just a man who was hired by SHIELD to carry out missions, and that was it. He didn't consider himself a superhero like Thor or Iron Man or Steve Rogers. Like, he doesn't consider himself to be in that level. So it's interesting to see him grapple with that, with the amount of publicity and accolades, or involuntary accolades he has throughout the entire show. So I think that's mainly what's going through. It's like he feels like he doesn't deserve this type of recognition because he doesn't feel like a superhero at all.
Yeah, for sure.
And you saw that with him whenever him and Kate Bishop were talking about like how he's supposed to inspire them, but Hawkeye doesn't think like that. Clint doesn't think that way. He just thinks like it's just a job that I have to do.
Right. And I also love the little nods, even thinking about like Clint's PTSD and his trauma and kind of where we're going, knowing that Yelena is coming after him because of what kind of again, she doesn't have the full picture. She wasn't on Vormir. She didn't understand what happened, like that Natasha gave her life to get them the soul stone. She just thinks, maybe he pushed her, maybe it's his fault that she died. He didn't do enough to protect her. So even I think when Clint sees the little girl that's dressed as Natasha, I think that's even a little bit of foreshadowing as to what's to come, as in terms of, Clint's going to have to deal with, like, he already misses her enough, but he's also going to have to face the fact that, like, somebody close to her thinks that it's his fault that she's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's I feel like that's going to be a really big emotional plot point in this show that he's going to have to really wrestle with. Not questioning whether or not he was right, because I think he knows that she did something good. I think he knows that it's not his fault that she's dead. I think but it's really going to be interesting to see. I feel like there's going to be a huge emotional moment between Yelena and Clint. And I hope we see that. Real quick, let's talk about Kate. What do you think of Kate and her live action?
I love Kate more than I thought. Kate really surprised me.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think Haley Steinfeld did a great job.
Yeah.
She was a great casting choice. Fantastic casting choice.
She's gonna be a top contender for Young Avengers. I can guarantee you that.
Yes. I thought the same exact thing. And it's kind of funny because we were just talking about this series being grounded in reality. Even her story, it's so relatable to so many people. The whole kind of not broken home because her dad died, but she doesn't get along with the stepdad. I forget his name. What's his name? I have it pulled up here. Jack Duquesne. Like she doesn't get along with Jack.
As everyone on social media says, is the second most punchable face next to
right?
John Walker.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of people do relate to, even if like I can't. And again, it's a grounded story. I love that she's trying to do the superhero thing, and she's trying to figure out what's up with Jack and what's up with this whole weird family and the tracksuit mafia, and like she's trying to figure that out with Clint. But she's also dealing, again, similar to like Peter Parker's Spider-Man, dealing with like real world problems, like real issues of being like a 22-year-old kid. You know what I mean? Like I really like that. I like that this series is coming out of the gate, kind of pushing those kinds of stories and that narrative.
I just realized technically, Kate Bishop is older than Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So it's
that
gonna
kind
be
of makes me
interesting
uncomfortable. You're right.
Yeah, with the Young Avengers, because you think Peter would. I figured Peter would end up probably be like one of the main leaders of the Young Avengers, but it looks like Kate Bishop may be it.
I'd be fine with that. I think she's done a really great job so far. And there's obviously skill there. She I really like the whole Ronin thing too with the suit. I thought that was kind of a really cool way to tie in what he did, because obviously being Ronin is a part of Clint's life that he kind of wants to to get rid of. Like he wants to push aside. He doesn't want to deal with that. He doesn't want to face the fact that all of that ever happened. So I think kind of seeing that suit come back to life, or resurface, and seeing somebody else wear it again. I like this PTSD, like trauma angle that we're coming at from Clint. The hearing aid thing is kind of cool too.
They were quick with that.
They were
really quick, which I totally get, and I loved how he explained it. He or some I don't remember.
Good writing.
Yeah, it was when Kate Bishop was asking Clint he was like asking her something about his hearing, and Clint was like, or Kate was like, "How? Like, what happened to your hearing?" And Clint was like, just work." And it put a slideshow of all the bullshit he went through. I was
like falling through windows and jumping out of whatever, and it was cool, man.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, this series, upon the first 2 episodes, I'm really excited to see what happens in episode 3. Like,
Yeah,
I'm genuinely curious. I know we had the kind of the Echo reveal at the end when Kate like goes to help him and she falls through the ceiling and he's like, "Great," or whatever. And
that was literally like it was like a little tiny little Easter egg with from Star Wars Attack of the Clones, because Anakin and Padme tried to save Obi-Wan, but then they get trapped, and then they're together with Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan was like, I thought I told you to stay away, and Anakin was like, "We come to rescue you, Master," and Obi-Wan's like, "Good plan," while looking at all 3 of them shackled up. I was like,
yeah,
that's pretty much what Clint said. Yeah.
yeah.
But Tracksuit Mafia too, they crack me up. They're
Yeah.
literally probably the biggest buffoons ever. And it's gonna be great to see them around.
Yeah. So I'm really, really excited to see where Hawkeye goes, man. I don't know about you, Miguel, but I think that's gonna do it for us. Would you agree?
Yeah.
For this episode of Let's Talk Movies. Big episode. We're almost at 1 hour and 45 minutes. There was a whole lot to talk about tonight. Please, guys, if you are watching after the fact, let us know, what are your thoughts on Hawkeye on the first 2 episodes? Where do you want to see this series go? Also, let us know, do you have your exit buddy? Do you have your Spider-Man No Way Home tickets? Were you able to nag them in the last 24 hours? It was crazy. Share with us your experience of getting tickets, your experience last night during the crash of all of the cinema websites. Please be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at We Talk the Movies. As always, guys, take it easy. Have a great rest of your week. We will see you on Thursday for episode number 5 or 6. I can't remember what episode it is. 5 or 6 of Purely and Simply Evil, where we are talking Halloween 4. Our commentary of Halloween 4 will drop either tomorrow or Thursday. I'm not sure yet. But it'll drop one of those 2 days. So, guys, take it easy. Have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you next time. Have a good one. Peace.
Peace.